The 60 minutes that will save your life. This is the story of a man who was drowning. Not in water, but in debt, stress, and the feeling that his life was already over at age 29. He had $14 in his bank account, a car that wouldn't start, and a job he hated. But then, he met a stranger in a parking lot who told him one sentence, just one sentence, that changed everything. In 6 months, he went from being broke to owning his own business. What he discovered is not magic. It is not luck. It is a formula that is available to you, right now. But before we begin, I have a question for you. If you could change one thing about your life today, your bank account, your health, or your happiness, what would it be? Type it in the comments below. Speak it into existence. And please, hit that like button and subscribe, because today, we are going to wake up. In a gray city full of concrete and rain, lived a man named David. David was 29 years old, but he looked 40. He worked in a call center, answering phones for an insurance company. From 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., he sat in a small cubicle, wearing a headset, listening to angry people yell at him. David's life was a loop. He would wake up at 8 a.m., panic because he was late, skip breakfast, rush to work, sit in traffic, work all day, and come home exhausted. When he got home, he had no energy. He would order cheap fast food, sit on his couch, and scroll through social media until 1 a.m. watching other people live rich, happy lives. He felt like a ghost. He was there, but he wasn't really living. His girlfriend had left him 2 months ago. She told him, "David, you're a nice guy, but you're going nowhere. You talk about big dreams, but you never do anything." That hurt. It hurt because he knew she was right. He was $15,000 in debt. His credit cards were maxed out. And the worst part? He felt he had no time. "I work all day," he told himself. "I am too tired to learn a new skill. I am too tired to exercise. I am a victim of the system." One rainy Thursday evening, the inevitable happened. David finished his shift and walked to his old, rusted car. He turned the key. Nothing. Just a clicking sound. He tried again. Click, click, click. The engine was dead. David put his head on the steering wheel and screamed. It was a scream of pure frustration. He had no money for a tow truck. He had no money for repairs. He was stuck in the rain, miles from home. He sat there for an hour, feeling the cold seep into his bones. Suddenly, a knock on the window startled him. Standing there was an old man in blue coveralls. He looked like a janitor or a cleaner. He was holding a flashlight. "Trouble?" the old man asked. His voice was deep and calm. "Battery is dead." "Everything is dead," David said, his voice breaking. "Pop the hood," the man said. The old man had jumper cables. Within 5 minutes, the car started. David got out to thank him. "I don't have any cash to pay you," David said, ashamed. The old man smiled. His eyes were sharp, intelligent. "I don't want your money, son. I want to know why a young man looks like he carries the weight of the whole world on his shoulders." David looked at the man. Maybe it was the exhaustion, maybe it was the kindness, but David spilled everything. He told him about the debt, the job, the breakup, the feeling of being trapped. "I just don't have the time to fix my life," David finished. "I'm exhausted." The old man laughed. It wasn't a mean laugh, it was a knowing laugh. "My name is Marcus," the man said. "I own this building. And the one next to it. And the hotel across the street." David was shocked. This man in dirty blue coveralls was a millionaire. "You think you are poor because you lack money," Marcus said. "But you are poor because you lack control over your time. You say you work 9 to 6. That is not your life. That is the time you sell to pay your bills. Your life is what happens before you sell that time. Marcus leaned against David's car. I will give you a challenge. If you do it, I will pay off your car repair. If you fail, you owe me nothing. But you have to tell me the truth. What is the challenge? David asked. For the next 60 days, you will join the Before Sunrise Club. You will wake up at 5 a.m. Not to work for your boss, but to work for yourself. The hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. are yours. Nobody calls. Nobody emails. The world is quiet. I can't, David said immediately. I'm not a morning person. I sleep at 1 a.m. And that is why you are broke, Marcus said sharply. You give your best hours to Netflix and your worst hours to your future. Flip the script. Marcus pulled out a notepad and wrote down a schedule. This is the 5 a.m. victory formula. It has 3 parts. 1. 5 to 5:20 a.m., move. Sweat. Run, do push-ups, jump rope. Wake up your body. 2. 5:20 to 5:40 a.m., reflect. Meditate, pray, or journal. Write down your goals. Clear the mental fog. 3. 5:40 to 7 a.m., grow. Learn a high-value skill. Not news, not social media. Study something that will make you rich. If you do this for 60 days, Marcus said, you won't recognize yourself. Part 4, the transformation begins. David went home that night. He looked at his broken apartment. He looked at the overdue bills. He realized he had nothing to lose. He set his alarm for 5 a.m. The first morning was brutal. When the alarm went off, it felt like a hammer hitting his head. It was dark outside. It was cold. His bed was warm. His brain screamed, just sleep. You have a hard day ahead. But he remembered Marcus. He dragged himself out of bed. He did 20 minutes of push-ups and sit-ups. He felt nauseous. He sat in silence for 20 minutes, but his mind was racing. Then, he opened his laptop. He had to choose a skill. He remembered Marcus saying, high value. David chose copywriting, the art of selling with words. He found free videos on YouTube and started taking notes. By 2 p.m. that day at work, David was crashing. He was exhausted. He almost fell asleep at his desk. He wanted to quit. But he did it again the next day. And the next. The first 2 weeks were hell. David was tired, irritable, and sore. But on day 21, something strange happened. The alarm went off, and David didn't groan. He just got up. He stepped outside for a run. The city was silent. The air was crisp. He saw the sunrise painting the sky purple and orange. For the first time in years, he didn't feel trapped. He felt free. He realized that while his boss owned his day, David owned his morning. He started devouring information about copywriting. He practiced writing emails, sales pages, and ads during that quiet 5:40 to 7 a.m. block. He stopped watching TV at night so he could sleep by 9:30 p.m. He stopped eating junk food because he needed energy for his mornings. His coworkers noticed. David, you seem different, one said. You're more focused. You're not complaining as much. David just smiled. I found some extra time, he said. On day 55, David was in a meeting at his call center. The managers were discussing a problem. Their email sales campaign was failing. Nobody was opening the emails to buy the insurance upgrades. We need to hire an outside agency, the manager said. It will cost us $10,000. David raised his hand. His heart was pounding. Sir, can I take a shot at rewriting the email? The room went silent. Some people snickered. David the phone guy. Writing marketing emails. You have 24 hours, the manager said dismissively. Don't waste our time. David didn't sleep much that night. But the next morning, at 5 a.m., he entered his zone. He used everything he had learned in the last 2 months. He used psychology, persuasion, and clarity. He wrote 3 emails. He submitted them. 2 days later, the CEO of the company walked onto the sales floor. "Who is David?" he asked. David stood up, terrified. "Did you write these emails?" The CEO asked, holding a printout. "Yes, sir. These emails," the CEO said, "have generated more sales in 24 hours than our previous campaign did in a month. Where did you learn to write like this?" David smiled. He thought of the dark mornings, the cold floor, the sacrifice. "I study every morning, sir. Before the world wakes up." David was promoted to the marketing department that same week. His salary doubled. But he didn't stop there. He started taking freelance clients on the side. 6 months after meeting Marcus, David resigned from his job. He started his own digital marketing agency. He paid off his debt. He fixed his car, actually, he bought a new one. One morning, he went back to the parking lot where his car had broken down. He waited. Sure enough, Marcus was there, sweeping the sidewalk. David walked up to him, wearing a sharp suit, standing tall. "I did it, Marcus." Marcus looked up and nodded. "I see you did. The question is, are you still waking up at 5 a.m.? "Every single day," David replied. "That is my time. That is my sanctuary." My friends, David's story is not about being smart. It is not about talent. David was a call center employee with $14 to his name. The difference was discipline. The hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. are the golden hours. Most people sleep through them. They wake up at the last minute, rush, stress, and react to the world. But the winners? The leaders? The people who change their lives? They are awake. They are building their bodies. They are sharpening their minds. They are getting ahead before the race even starts. You might be thinking, but I love my sleep. Ask yourself, do you love your sleep more than you hate your current situation? Do you love your warm bed more than you love your financial freedom? Here is your challenge for tomorrow. Set your alarm for 5 a.m. Do not hit snooze. Snooze is the button of defeat. Get up. Drink a glass of water. Move your body. And spend 1 hour learning something that will change your future. It will be hard. It will hurt. But remember David. The pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret. Are you ready to join the 5 a.m. revolution? If you are, write, "I am awake," in the comments below. Let the world know you are done sleeping through your life. Share this video with a friend who needs a wake-up call. Like and subscribe for more stories like this. I'll see you at 5 a.m. Don't be late.